To go live. Let's see if it. Hi, it's Tanisha Harris here, and I'm here with my project Conversations with Tanisha, and I wanted to come on today to talk with my friend Sara Simonds. Sara is a financial literacy advocate, and she's been doing quite a few great things in the city and working with um, folks young and old alike. But I want to have her tell you her story as I just have a little conversation with her and we kind of hang out here on a Friday night. So let's welcome Sara. Sara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm great. I'm glad you could do this. I
I'm
know you
so
were
excited.
you were a little nervous. I think we both were a little nervous of whether or not things would go off um, as planned, but we're
Yay! We made it
I
happen.
know. So, a Friday night, we're here. This is Conversations with Tanisha. Nothing really formal, just us having a talk about things that are important to us, or things that we're doing. And you, my dear, what is it that you're up to these days?
Well, this is tonight specifically is the start of my birthday weekend. I didn't know if you knew that. Tanisha and I just met each other recently. So she might not have known that, so don't hold that against her. But I turn 33 tomorrow. So that's pretty much what I'm up to this weekend. If anybody is familiar with the sickle cell walk, I'll be there in the morning. My little sister has sickle cell, so my
Oh,
family and I always go out to support her. It's a 5K walk. I'll be walking the morning of my birthday. But that's besides that, what I have been up to lately is just trying to build a business and have the conversation about financial literacy with as many people as possible. And being a mom and a wife, that takes up all the other hours of the day,
now,
which
how
I
many babies
love
do
and
you have?
enjoy. I have two babies. I have a 7-year-old daughter named Braylee, and I have a 1-year-old daughter named Soraya. And they are like exact duplicates of myself with the
Mm,
amount of energy they have. So it makes it really convenient that I am able to work from home and create my own schedule, because having two little girls is very unpredictable.
Yes, I had three boys, and one thing that I always say that I was so happy I never had girls because I would probably have, well, have less hair than I have now if that was the case.
Right. Yeah, and that's funny that you say that because I had that conversation with myself before we found out that we were having a second girl. Because my afro used to be a little bit bigger than this, and I told myself that if I had a girl, I was getting rid of it, and if I had a boy, I could keep it. And so, since I had a girl, I had to chop some of it away because, girl, yes, you are definitely correct. I don't have to do much with the 1 year old's hair yet. Um, but the 7 year old, yeah, her hair, she has as just as much hair as I do. Hers
Mhm.
is actually longer than mine, of course. So hair day has a whole different meaning for me. But I'm very hopeful that one day we'll have a boy. Haven't started working on that yet, but we're hoping for the next one to be a
Well,
little
great.
boy.
That's good. Well, I'm sure. Well, just keep trying. If you don't, just keep trying. Isn't that
Girl, no, Um, my husband won't allow that. He said that my max is 4.
okay?
I grew up loving children. I was one of those kids that took the baby, because I don't even know if they still have home ec anymore, really, like real home ec, like we had it.
Not like we had it,
Um,
I think.
yeah. So I took a babysitting course even when I was in school just to be able to babysit children. So my max is 4, but he says if the next one is a girl, he is not going to risk 4 girls. So might end up with our little boy, and we might end with 3 girls.
Okay.
I don't know. I wish I could predict that.
I know. Well, the best of luck to you there. I know, when I was younger, I thought I wanted six kids, and then
Oh
but then,
yeah.
right. But I thought I would have them under different circumstances also. But as it would be, I wound up with the three, and that was more than enough. So, yeah, it's
Yeah, but
it's that.
3 boys, that just sounds like, and I know it's different for everyone, but that just sounds like you're protected.
That's if they like you.
Right, right. That's why I had to throw that in there.
Not saying
You know
that my
what?
boys don't like me, but that sometimes I
Everyone.
wonder about. I
Right.
wonder about it, but they show me they do, and you're right. That's the one thing that I can say about boys with their mother is that it's you do get that level of protection. I know my
Mm-hmm.
older two who are in that phase where they're able to do that. It's kind they shock me because I'll be like, okay, oh well, my goodness, well look, like I had my oldest. He texted me yesterday, today, between the two, and he's starting his own business. So he's like, Mom, I did this, I did this, and I talked to a business, banker, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, look at you. And then he got an invoice program. He's like, I'm doing my invoices the right way. I'm like, oh, look at you. So it's always, you take care of your little ones, and then they grow up and you love them still.
I'm not really ready for them to grow up because I love the baby stage, and
Hmm.
like up to like newborn up to like 3, I believe right now is like my utmost favorite. My
Hmm.
7 year old is already testing the waters, but the one thing that I will say, like in reference to the protecting part, I feel like I see even in my 7 year old and the way that she acts around her little sister, the nurturing part is like I
Hmm.
see that already in her. And like if she thinks mommy's not paying attention to the baby, she's like, Mommy, Soraya needs this, Soraya needs that. If she goes to get a snack, then the baby also gets a snack. And I guess not a baby anymore. I call them all babies, but my toddler, they get snacks together, and it's starting to be, she does everything her big sister does. So I know that's going to happen with girls and boys, but I enjoy watching that part of it because she takes apart, and this is her baby.
Well, it's
And I
the
feel like
two of them
a
now.
boy doesn't always do that.
It's the two of them now, and I will see. For me, I had one sister, and I was the oldest. And for sisters, I think there's this type of bond that they create where they're best friends early on,
Mhm.
and that's how I was with my sister. So hearing you say that about how she's taking care of her younger sister, it's just it sounds right. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
cute and lovable and adorable, and yes, so.
How far are you and your sister?
We're 4 years
How?
apart.
Oh, 4 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters are 5 years apart, and I am also the oldest of two, but we're 18 months apart. So I feel like we clashed a little bit more when we were
Mm-hmm.
younger, and we're closer now. But I knew I just didn't want to have my kids back to back because I like it was like me and my sister were like the same age but not the same age, so it was like weird, like it wasn't, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
um so I really enjoy the age gap between my kids. That's one of
Yes.
the enjoyable. Yeah.
So one of the things that you had sent me some visuals, which we're not using all of them, but one of them you did send to me that I do want to put up on the screen because it kind of ties in to what you're talking about now, your kids and your family and all of
Yeah.
that. And that would be this one right here. And is this a program that you're doing or something that you just coach on?
Um, Great question. To be honest, it's just how I felt in branding myself personally. As you can see in the picture, that's my husband, Avery. Of course, if you want to have relationship talk, I met that man when I was 12. So we're middle school sweethearts. So I always love to share that fun fact. And those are our two little girls. So when I began growing a business and financial literacy, having conversations with people and getting to know them outside of their finances is really important to me. But it also, brings into the topic of, okay, I want people to know as much about me as possible. So I kind of wanted to put out there who I am in a statement. And I am a mother managing marriage and money. So being able to balance, how we spend our money, what we budget our money for, as well as making sure my daughter gets to school, making sure my 1 year old is learning how to walk, learning how to talk, and as well as making sure I'm being the best wife possible. I have to do all of those in a 24-hour span. So I kind of just wanted to put it all out there in one statement.
Okay, let me do something real quick because I have someone who is trying to watch us, but they can't seem to do so.
Yes.
Can you see it on are you on Facebook?
So when I brought it up on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
it's playing an old video, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
it's not playing us at the moment.
Yeah, I have us.
You have us?
Ooh, I do.
I don't see us.
You do not see us, but you will in a second. Lord have mercy. Well, lucky for us, this is recorded.
Okay.
So refresh and let
Ah.
me see whether or not you see us or not now. And I was trying to make sure that
Well, I didn't know if you had like some type of introduction or something that played before we came on there. So I hadn't been checking it as we were talking.
look, didn't I tell you that we were I wasn't sure. But here's what happened, and
You
I'll
did say you did say that.
I'll tell you what happened. Sometimes when I test the broadcast out, I'll do it in private mode, and I thought I had switched it to public, but it went back to private. So I
Mm.
just edited the privacy level, so we should have,
Oh, there we go.
you see it? Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Let me.
Okay, wonderful. So,
Oh, and that's why. Okay, because I shared it. I shared
yes.
it on my Facebook, but somebody said that it wasn't able to be viewed.
Yes, so we should be good now. And I'm so sorry. So, for those of you who are just joining us, yeah, we've been chatting for the past 15 minutes, guys. And I've learned so much about Sarah that it's recorded. So, I will just go ahead. Well, you can see the recorded version of it once the live is complete. But here we are now, Sarah's beautiful smile. She was just going over her mother managing marriage and money program, or actually her passion about it. So we
Yeah,
can finish up there.
yeah. So, um, so yeah, that's what it wasn't. It's not a program that I created yet, but it's just a way to give some whoever's looking at this, giving them some idea of who is this person before I talk to her. So that's why I wanted to, make sure you saw my face on there and also saw my family,
Mhm.
because the conversation of money frightens people, so I just want to ease their mind from the beginning. I'm a person just like you are, trying to manage my marriage and my money. But the joy about the business is just, the more that I learn, the more that I can pay it forward. Um, so there is not necessarily, because I hate to, the more I say it, the more I don't like saying it, that I have a particular market. When I started the business, my market is typically anyone between like the ages of 22 to 55, right? But also specifically gearing my conversations to other women that are trying to, balance whatever career they're in and a marriage and children. Um, so I feel like moms are my market,
Mhm.
but also people of color are mainly my market.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I don't care how old you are. Having the conversation about money is necessary, and of course, it's great to start as early as possible. But if I run into a 60-year-old woman that has never had this type of conversation, I want to have that conversation with her, and try to assist as much as I possibly can, because the fact of the matter is we, as a community, haven't had these conversations for a very long time. Most of our grandparents, they might have had, all their money stuffed under their bed, and that's the way they felt the safest, the way that they knew how to balance that. So I'm willing to have the conversation with anybody, and that a mother managing marriage and money is, I feel like, is just plain simple and tells you exactly what I'm doing here.
Absolutely. And I think that was one of the conversations we had because I had asked you what age was probably, where, and it's like and for me, I'm thinking, these days so much has happened, and there are some older people who have been going through a lot. Maybe they were with a company and maybe, they lost the job, or the pensions were supposed to be a thing and now they're no more, and just all kinds of things. So when we think about the older we get, whether or not it's too late, people are living longer these days too. I'm thinking, I mean, under most circumstances, you're seeing a
Yeah.
lot of more adults who are going up into their late 90s to their hundreds even. And for you to come in at 50 or 45 and say, "Oh, I've done hardly anything. What can I do now?" Um, if you think about it, you still could have, another few years left, I guess. But
This is
it's an interesting topic because even at retirement, I mean, we have people working until they're about 70 these days, it seems.
Mhm.
I'm seeing some nice looking 70-year-olds out here, and I'm telling you, I want to be one of them because I
Oh, we're
I
gonna be
just
one of
do.
them. There's no doubt about that. We're gonna be one of them. The goal is to not be a 70-year-old working is the goal.
Well, if
To
you've
be debt
already gotten
free.
older, you probably will be.
Yeah. Right. And I feel like what ends up being the issue that we're seeing now, like within our firm, within my investment team, is somebody that is 70 years old and is already retired, might already be retired. That financial literacy part, they don't know that they had other options.
Hmm.
So I feel like the position that we get stuck in, I'll say, is that I have to have a job in order to build something. I have to have this 401k. I have to have this stability. Um, and that's not always the case. And that's where the financial literacy piece comes into play. And going back to talking about my market, when I'm talking to like a 25-year-old, I'm not only talking to her about how to start her finances, I'm also talking to her about, okay, your parents didn't teach you this, your grandparents didn't teach you this, so let's make sure they have this information as well. But I think it's the fact that we get stuck and we believe there are no other options for us. For me, that's exactly what it was. I've been in the financial service industry for a little over 2 years now, and what interests me so much about the business is that I had no idea what I did not know. So knowing that there's more to my finances than just having a full-time job and paying my bills, because that's what I thought it was. I was taught to go to college, get a full-time job, pay my bills, and I'll be good. And that did me good for 10 plus years. But after 10 plus years being at a job, I can't even imagine working at a job for 40 years and then at the end of that 40 years still feel like I'm playing catch up. And
Hmm.
that's not a common thing for everyone, but specifically to our community, that's how we feel, that we're always playing catch up. We're always saving for something. We aren't prepared for emergencies. And then once it's over, once the career is over, I should say, once this career is over, we still feel that way. And so it's about making sure that our community knows the importance of having an emergency savings that is not just like a month's worth, but like 6 months worth,
Hmm.
and having a particular financial independence number so you know exactly where you're going. So I feel like one of the issues is we talk about goals all the time, like family goals, life goals, personal goals, but nobody ever talks about their financial goals in depth. And what our financial firm is able to provide someone is a game plan of, okay, what is the dollar amount of what you need in order to I believe on the equipment, the technology that we use, retirement age right now is a 67 years old, and life expectancy is 82 years old. The last time I checked, so you have all this time to save up for retirement, but then you have like up to maybe 18 to 20 years to do whatever you want, but you can't do whatever you want if you don't have the money for it. So making a very specific game plan on how to get there is what I'm able to talk to people about and assist them with. My background is in retail. That's where I came from the past 10 and a half years. So I love being a service to others. I learned a lot of my management leadership skills in retail. Thankful for that part of it, but I was sacrificing so much time to learn those skills, when financial literacy was really the piece that got me out of there.
And I
I don't
think
know if that answers your question or not,
it
but
does, but and I think
you got me
what
talking.
and no, and that's why we're here to talk. And like I said, It's nothing formal or anything like that. So it's not like even like but here's what I want to say that I really, really like when I talk to you is that I can see how it's all clicking for you. And I like how you love to share what you learn and help others, come up to your level of understanding now and even learning more and going beyond. Because I know sometimes I'll ask a question or we'll be talking and you'll be like, well, let me go back and check and see. So it's never like we always have all the answers right, in
Yeah.
our head at the moment. But having, like you say, that team behind you that is there to assist, I love that. And I love that you draw off that. And for anyone who is, and I say this for like, especially for our college graduates and those who are high school kids, our college graduates, those people who are
Hmm.
getting ready to enter the workforce, definitely, definitely, definitely speak with someone in the financial realm. Reach out to someone like Sarah so that you can set that game plan up for you early on versus later, because it's a wonderful thing when you get to a certain age and you're able to say, you know what, I don't need you like you need me. That's a wonderful thing. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
definitely, definitely. I love seeing you talk about this. I love listening and
Thank
I love
you.
learning from you as well. Um,
I
I
appreciate
just,
that. And you hit a lot of key points on the nose because right now I have been talking to a lot of college graduates because you just graduated college. Half of the time you don't even know what you're about to do, even though you just got this degree. So it is definitely a space for a business opportunity as well, for people that don't know where to go to next. But in the midst of it, you are also building something for yourself. It also, just comes down to the ownership of it, because I don't necessarily, and you could probably agree with this too, as somebody who can, take their license and take their business anywhere with them. It's really relieving to know that I have something for me and not that I, work so much to build something for somebody else. So,
and these days, I mean, it's not like when my parents and their parents before them worked. Back then people worked at a company for 20 plus years. Today, we tend to move from employer to employer for various reasons. And
hmm,
just knowing that if you do have a vehicle with that employer and you leave, then what's the next step? And so
right,
there are a
right.
lot of things that we can talk about. There are a lot of things that I know Sarah is helping her clients out with. And I just want to say we are close to our half hour mark, but it doesn't seem like, well, it doesn't seem
No,
like we've been
I mean
here
we
that
were
long
we were just
because
talking just
for
the
a
two
lot of
of us
you,
for a minute, so that's probably why it seemed like it went by so fast. So yes, I want to thank Tanisha for bringing me on. It was a lot less stressful than I thought it was
see, I
gonna
told
be.
you.
Invite me back anytime.
You are.
And I just want to put out there to all of Tanisha's viewers that, as someone who is in partnership with her, I offer a complimentary financial needs analysis to anybody that I am able to have this conversation with. So it doesn't cost you a dime. It just costs you just a little bit of your time, but you can walk away with a whole entire game plan, whether that's you're trying to put your family together before it happens, or whether you have a family already, you graduated from college, you're starting a new career, you're looking for a new career. All the options, all the possibilities are endless. But I offer that financial needs analysis complimentary, because I just want at least somebody to have the game plan, to be able to set themselves up for their future.
And so, what is the best way for folks to get in touch with you, Sarah?
The best way would probably be by cell phone. I mean, I can put my cell phone number out there, but my cell phone number is 317-509-4113. I am a business owner, and so I'm trying to grow this business no matter how, which way, but cell phone is the best way to reach me. Um, I also have in that visual that you had up, I don't know, it was a little blurry for me, so I don't know if it shows up blurry on Facebook. But my email address and my phone number are on there. I also have a landing page that is also on there. It's a little bit more clear now, but social media, I am
Okay.
all on social media, all Sara Simonds on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay. And I will update with the information so that it's out there. If anybody wants to get in touch with Sarah, definitely
Uh,
reach out to me or, find Sarah on the socials that she mentioned that she's on. And I just want to note that I did spell her name correctly because I have you in my phone with a U in your last name. And
you in my life.
yeah,
What?
I don't know why I keep doing that,
Like
but
summons?
yes. So when I did the art for the thing, I actually had the U in there, and then I was like, no, no, no. And that's why I sent you. I had
Oh,
to change your name. That's why I told you that, but it automatically switched
okay.
it.
See, I didn't see the picture before it went away. So that's why I
Right.
didn't even I assumed that you put an H on my name because
Nope.
that's normally what happens.
Nope.
And
I
you
got the
got you so
Sarah
you got
part
the H
right.
right? A U, that's a new one though. I've never had
Yes.
anybody spell my last name with a U.
Yes.
Never.
So I'm gonna have to change it in
So
my phone so that I know that I won't make that
yeah,
mistake
do
again.
that.
But even
Yes,
though I've
ma'am.
known it
Yes,
was Simonds, I still have you in the phone with the UNDS. So, oh, ooh, ooh.
must have been just some fingers and finger
Yeah,
typos.
I just turned 21 yesterday and I
Guess
went out to the bars for the very first time. So, hey.
you better. You better.
All right,
That's
Sarah.
great. Yeah, you're gonna have to correct that name because you're definitely gonna have to have me back on.
Yes.
This was great and I loved it. I loved it so
Mhm.
much.
Awesome, awesome. All right then. Well, we're done here. And for those of you that watched, I want to thank you very much. This is here, Conversations with Tanisha. If you know of anyone it would be interesting to speak to, just reach out to me. I love talking to people, and as you see, we had a great time. All right, guys.
We did. We did. Thank you so much.